Welcome to the Nevada room here at the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. I'm Brian Samudi, a public information officer, one of our two here at the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. And welcome to Did You Know? Now, before we get to our guest, Sheriff Balaam is going to join me shortly. And what a week we have here in Northern Nevada. If you were near Clear Lake or McCarran earlier today, you know the rodeo's in town. We're going to talk about that and multiple other special events that are going on and just safety when it comes to these events. I want people to have fun, but also be safe at the same time. But smash that like button, subscribe so you know when we're on at Washoe Sheriff. You want to do it on Instagram. You want to do it on Facebook, you want to do it on Twitter. It's going to be your nonstop shop for all information when it comes to Northern Nevada and some insights into things here at the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. And speaking of insight when it comes to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Darren Balaam joining me right now. Sheriff, great to see you. The weather is fantastic, perfect to kick off our summer events schedules. Perfect.
You know what? I don't know if we can complain about this weather.
No.
You know, the winter was crazy, but this summer has been excellent. Hopefully the afternoon showers kind of ease up this next week. But what great weather to kick off our special events. You know, the Reno Rodeo is kind of the sign for our region that here comes special events, and then they end in September. And so it's a special time, and I'm excited.
I was out there at the cattle drive this morning as they came in. They come down past the training center and down at the roundabout, and people just line Clear Acre going down to McCarran, and it's become a Reno event to kick off the Reno Rodeo. But not just that, but our event season. But what a great community event! Our mounted horses were right in the middle of it.
Oh, you know, again, I think all of us at the sheriff's office over the years, watching the cattle come across, you know, behind our training center and then down, that is a special time. And I think, you know, I'm glad the Reno Rodeo does that. And you're right. That's one thing for our area. That is a signal that here they come, and let's start having some fun.
I want to introduce you to one of the gentlemen who is behind the scenes quite often here at the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. We can't do a lot of things without him. He never wants the credit, but we make him take the credit sometimes. Sergeant Noah Boyer, he's with the Consolidated Bomb Squad, special events. There's so many. We don't have enough room at the bottom of the screen, Sergeant Boyer, to put your actual title. But this week, you are with the Bomb Squad year-round, but you have so many other hats that you wear. Can you tell people about special event safety and what goes on behind the scenes that you can tell us about?
So first of all, thank you for the opportunity to come here and speak on behalf of our special events. We do the Reno area is inundated almost with special events right now. You know, we talked about this is our kickoff. Not only do we have the rodeo going right now, but we also have Brews and Blues. We have Food Truck Friday. I mean, the number of events that's going on right now is too many to list. When we look at the sheriff's office and our involvement in the community, probably one of the biggest events that we are fortunate to be part of is the Reno Rodeo. The 10 nights that we're part of it are a great time.
And it's even beyond 10 nights. I mean, there was a great concert last night. You've got extreme bulls bucking out of the chutes tonight. So the old sportscaster may come. 40 of the rankest bulls in the world and toughest cowboys around. It's literally over 100,000 people will be walking through the doors, Sheriff. And it's tough to prioritize. Okay, please do this. Please. Safety, number one, is the priority.
Absolutely. And that's, you know, our deputies are down there. We have an appearance and we're there just to make sure that everyone's safe when they're at the event. You'll notice this year when you come to those gates that they are using a wanding. So make sure that you're leaving the items that are going to be prohibited for the event at home. Last thing we want to do is you show up to the gate, be surprised by that, and now we have to go put those items in cars, and that creates those target environments for people who are up to no good. We want to avoid that. So just as a reminder, leave those items at home, and so we don't run into those issues.
Yeah, why don't even leave them in the car? Lots of times we say lock up your stuff, Sheriff, but there's no reason even to bring stuff like that.
No, you know, and that's the one thing last year we did, and we did it again this year. You know, Sergeant Boyer, we have a command center outpost that raises up where we'll be manning it with some of our volunteers and other deputy sheriffs in there, as well as we have 2 trailers, mobile trailers that have surveillance on them, that have microphones. So we're putting them on the parking lot because we always, like Sergeant Boyer mentioned, it's no different, but now you have a higher concentration of cars right in one area. So it is a prime opportunity. So please, if you're going to the rodeo, leave your stuff at home. If you don't need your purse, if you don't need your laptops, you know, you're here to have a great time. Bring what you need to get in, and that's it. And then, you know, the other thing hitting on is, you know, we're in the construction era right now with all the roads. out. So plan your time so when you come, you don't get stuck on one of those long lines. Or if you do, right, they're doing a great job with traffic.
Yep.
And, Sergeant Boyer, I know, and his team have worked with the Reno Rodeo. They're trying to get people in and out as quick as possible. But just know that with construction, there may be some alternate routes. So look at those, plan ahead so that you get there in time to, most importantly, with your family,
right,
enjoy the Reno Rodeo.
RenoRodeo.com is a great resource. They've got maps there where you can find what's shut down. Parking is a challenge in this town for any event pretty much, but they're doing the best they can. But RenoRodeo.com is a good source there. So Sheriff, once you're inside, people want to have a good time. Drink. The Jack tent is notorious, but it's also attractive to a lot of people. People have been in there. I don't know anybody who has not had fun at the Jack tent, but also be aware of your surroundings when you're inside. I mean, you being a father, when you're in there with your kids, build a game plan and know where everything is, and maybe have a place where you can meet up if something does happen.
And absolutely. Again, I know Sergeant Boyer can hit on this as well, as if you have your kids, right, when you walk in, if you walk in the main gates, our command post is right there. Tell your young children if they get lost, find a deputy. But if nothing else, know how to get back to that command post. We have a dispatcher that's there. So as long as they walk in, they come, unfortunately every year, and it's a scary time for families that, just because of the crowds, you may get separated, that they know exactly to go find a deputy. We will help them find a family. And if you get lost or separated from your kids, go to that command post or find a spot. If we get separated, stay right here. That's one thing. And the other thing we got to talk about, and you mentioned the Jack tent and the Coors tent now.
Yes.
They've had the Coors tent on each side trying to lessen the one crowd into two is, enjoy, have fun. We want you to enjoy, but be responsible, with Uber and Lyft and taxis and everything else that we have in our community now. If you're going to enjoy and partake in consuming alcohol or other beverages that are going to make you intoxicated, make sure you have a ride, right? You don't want to have a great night with your family and then ultimately on your way home, end up in some tragedy.
Absolutely.
And so, we always want to hit on that with all the special events, right? Because this is not the only one. We're going to have a lot of them, as Sergeant Boyer said, that are going on right now. So please, everybody, when you go with your surroundings and everything, just make sure you drink responsibly and be responsible after and just find the right home.
Little tiny things. Make sure that your phone is fully charged. Make sure you got a full charge on that phone. That's something as simple as that. You could get there and, I can't find somebody, and now my phone's dead. So now you're wandering around where there's 10,000 plus people, and you're literally walking around. But as the sheriff said, find a deputy. Always wanting to help folks and plan for the weather. I mean, I've been at the rodeo where it snowed, and I've been at the rodeo when it's been 105.
Absolutely.
But wear the sunscreen. I was wearing the sunscreen today, and I still feel like I cooked out there because we've been cooped up all winter. But plan for the weather and have a good time. But you're right. Just take the proper precautions. And as we go into event season, there's so many great things down the line. And Sergeant Boyer wanted to ask you about some of our future events, how your role, if it changes at all, for say the balloon races. I mean, that's coming up in September. Not to jump too far forward, but how does your role change if it's the balloon races?
Well, one of the big things that you talked about is planning for the weather. And the balloon races. We're coming out of August. We're rolling into September for the balloon races. It's 4:00 in the morning. It's not warm. Don't be surprised when it's cold out there. So plan for the weather, and a lot of the things that we talked about for the rodeo carry over for the balloon races. When we look that far in advance, we talk about parking. One of the biggest things that we run into with the balloon races is parking. Plan ahead for parking. University of Nevada, Reno is right there. They have plenty of parking to cross the street so that we're not trying to get all those cars in and out. And the pedestrian traffic is one of our biggest concerns because it's dark. When you take your kids to the balloon races, make sure that they're wearing bright colored clothing, the glow sticks or something like that to be able to see those kids running around is huge for us. So again, some of those trends that continue to carry on, make sure that your kids know mom and dad's name, right? That can help us a lot. We have PA systems to be able to broadcast that information. But if they don't understand mom and dad's name, that's hard for us to be able to get that information out. If they have, mom and dad's cell phone number, that's a huge benefit to us. We're actually working with our community relations department to come up with some wristband systems so that we have that ability to put that information on kids as they're enjoying the event, that we want them to get out there and have fun, but we want them to be safe.
Now, ultimately, that is it: is to go out, be safe, have fun, and enjoy all of these events. And Sheriff, there are so many of our events that are pet friendly. They want you can walk your pet around.
Mhm.
Some of them are not, and for reasons that are important. Sometimes, even like the balloon races, they're asking you, please leave your pets at home because there can be some unpredictable sounds and there can be some dangerous areas where this crew is really trying to work and kind of stay out of their way, but look ahead on a website and see if it is a pet friendly event. As much as you want to have Fido, you want to bring the dog and be able to
Mhm.
come out. Sometimes it's just not the right place to do it.
Absolutely. Again, we run into that with these special events or the ones that occur like hot dogs nights, rib cook-off. Some of those events, there's so many people. If it's a working dog, then absolutely, right? But if not, one, it's hot.
Mhm.
And, you talk about some of the other events besides the balloon races, which, yes, you're out on the grass, but they're asking you not because it's dark. People are, side by side. But when you look at hot dogs nights and the rib cook-off, you're on asphalt,
Yes.
right? And it's summertime and it's 90 plus degrees. So, that's what we ask of some people that are pet owners is, think of the pet too, because
Yeah.
their feet, they don't have shoes like us.
Mhm.
They may have the pads and the rough, but it's still hot. So, just keep your animals at home, enjoy them so that you can have a good time. Everybody else can have a good time. Because again, the key is, and you're going to continue to hear this theme is we want you to have fun, but we want you to be safe.
Sarge, do you have a point there?
For the balloon races, one of the biggest things is the drones.
Yeah.
That can have a huge impact on the balloon races and cause us to ground balloons if we have those drones in the air. So please, as much as the photography is beautiful of the balloons in the morning, please leave those drones at home during that event.
I mean, literally, a $20 drone can bring down an aircraft. I mean, that's if it's in the wrong place and strikes something at the wrong place, it can be very dangerous. And I mean, I know you're trying to get the proper, you want to get a great shot, but there are steps you have to go through to become a drone pilot and legally do this.
Absolutely.
We haven't even touched the surface yet. Street Vibrations is still coming up.
Yep.
The air races. I mean, the finale of the air races is coming up. Sarge, I mean, tell me about stuff like that when you're something the magnitude, the size of the air races. That's a big job.
Absolutely, and when we look at the special events here and the partnerships that we have, not only with the special events themselves, but with our partnering agencies, you're going to see sheriff's deputies down at Hot August Nights. You're going to for the city of Sparks. You're going to see sheriff's deputies in the city of Sparks for the rib cook-off. That comes with that partnership that we have with our neighboring agencies. And again, being able to provide that safety at those special events that we have coming in the future. Air races, we work with the Reno Police Department and the Reno Airport Authority and their law enforcement entities. As a bomb squad component, we're down there early morning. Again, it's cold, it's September, but we're down there doing sweeps with our dogs just to make sure it's a safe environment for everyone before we get everyone down there.
This time of year, Sergeant Boyer averages 47 minutes per sleep, night per sleep. That's what it's 40 minutes, 47 minutes a night.
Yeah,
when it comes to the air
close.
races, what a unique event, and we're going to send it off. And just, I don't know how many people you have to thank. There's so many people to thank for this event.
You hit on it. That this is an event that unfortunately is coming to an end, and so I'd encourage everybody out there, if you're new to the area. This is an event that's gone on for, I believe it's 57 years.
Pushing 60.
And so if you have the opportunity, get out there and watch these planes. This is the last time it's going to be here. So for them, we do. As a community, we want to give the Reno Air Races a great send-off. Again, go out, have fun, be responsible, but watch those planes and all those pilots and their just the way they're able to fly those.
Oh,
it is amazing. It's fun to watch. It's just like, again, Reno Rodeo. You watch, no matter what event it is, those athletes have skills, just like the pilots. And, when you go into that or Hot August Nights, just the amount of passion and desire and skill it took to create some of those cars, they're neat. And we can go on for our special events. But for us, this is a great time of the season.
We're very lucky where we are to have such a great event season and have so many people that want to come to Northern Nevada, spend money in Northern Nevada, and people from Northern Nevada who have opened their arms. And we haven't even touched on Burning Man yet. And that's an incredibly
and we're getting ready for that. And we're looking for, for a lot of people, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind for the general population of Reno. But for the sheriff's office, Gerlach and Empire are part of our county, and we take that very serious. When we're 80,000 people on a 2-lane road, that we're moving through that town, and we prepare for that, and we staff for it up there, and because those constituents up there are they're part of the sheriff's office for us.
Sheriff, you made a great point to me earlier this week when we were discussing this show. It's a community. Gerlach's a very proud community. There are families that people are raising families
absolutely.
there. Please slow down. Please slow down.
Oh, that's probably, Burning Man, like Sergeant Boyer said, 80,000 people. The majority, if not all, are going to go through Empire and Gerlach, and they're small towns. They are very close-knit towns, but they all have kids.
Yes.
Right. And there's a small park. And so the main two issues we always face, besides just the amount of traffic, is the speeds. And so, again, if you're in this area, because that's an international event, so we have people from all over the world coming. But for those that are watching that are here or plan on coming, again, please slow down as you go through those two. It's a very short distance, but have respect for those residents, because we will be out there making sure, again, you're safe, but the residents are safe. And in the park in Gerlach, it's a very small where the water tower is, but they love to camp there.
Yeah.
Right. And for the community, it's like that's our one park. We're proud of it. And so the sheriff's office, we get called almost every day. Hey, go tell them you can stop. It's a park, enjoy it, but it's not overnight camping.
Yeah.
And so, those are some of the things. And the last, and I know even in Pershing, we all stress this, right? The Black Rock Desert is, again, it's known worldwide. And so if you're going to go out there, have fun, be safe, but at the end of the day, take what you brought in. I know that's one of the biggest mantras of Burning Man.
Yep.
They leave it because people enjoy the Black Rock all year round, except when it rains. We don't want them out when it rains because they're going to get stuck, right? Yeah, please don't, because we have to go out there. But it is a beautiful part of our community. And so, that's one thing we always ask at the sheriff's office is if you're going to go out there and enjoy it, respect not only the community, but the environment, and so take everything that you took out there with you back.
Sergeant Boyer, any final message about being safe in our summer events?
We've talked about it a couple times now, is being prepared for those events, whether it's being prepared, if you're going out to Burning Man, understand that there's not a lot of commodities out there. There's not a lot of stores out there. So be prepared when you're going out there with your food and your water, and plan ahead and bring that trash back into town. And there's dump locations along the way for us to do that. So being prepared that way, having your plan at the end of the night, how we're going to get home. At the end of the rodeo, there's plenty of ride share out gate 2. Promise, they're all lined up, ready to take you home. So we planned ahead for that, but take that responsibility. Make sure that your kids are prepared when you're going to go to these events. Make sure they understand. If there is something, they get separated. Please come up to a deputy. Any of our CERT volunteers wear bright orange vests. They stand out. They'll gladly start that process so we can get kids back to parents. Weather's going to change that weather event as well.
Sheriff Balen, any final thoughts?
I would just say as we go into this year, let's make it a great year.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let's go have fun. Let's enjoy. The winter kept us in a lot more than we usually do.
Yeah.
So go out, have fun. If you're new to this area, see some of our special events throughout our entire region. They're great. They're fun. But at the end of the day, be safe. Just be aware of your surrounding. Besides what Sergeant Boyer said, right? When you park your cars, keep all your valuables that you're not going to carry with you. Either leave them in the trunk, don't leave them on your car seat, or leave them at home. So that when you come back, you're not having to worry about, unfortunately, maybe somebody broke into your car. So, that's the one thing on top of what Sergeant Boyer said I'd add. But otherwise, let's have a great year and let's have a great special event season.
All right, hit that like button, subscribe, go to Washoe Sheriff. When it comes to Facebook, we're talking Instagram, Twitter. It's your no-stop shop. It's everything right there. You got everything right there. No-stop shop. It's been a long week. But for Sergeant Boyer and Sheriff Balen, we are just getting started with the Reno Rodeo. I'm Brian Samudio. Thanks for being with us here on Did You Know?